Welcome, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. It is the 8th of January, year 2025, our very first Facebook Live Q&A on this Facebook group for year 2025. So I would start by saying Happy New Year, even though the news comes on there are certain events that are going on everywhere. I know we were talking right before this live. We were talking about the Los Angeles fires. Lakshmi, I see on Dr. Joe Dispenza's Facebook page, they actually posted something about the fact that they needed to reschedule the whole Los Angeles progressive event of 6,300 attendees. Because of Facebook, because of the fire. So thoughts and prayers with everyone that is undergoing those challenges. And then there are weather events as well. It's really cold here in Texas. It's below freezing. Has been since Monday. So I didn't even know if I was going to be able to post a Facebook Live. Tomorrow starts the winter weather advisory for us. So there's going to be snow tomorrow and day after, and then probably in a few more days it will always clear up. So let me welcome our panel today. We have Lakshmi. A happy birthday belated, Lakshmi. Thank you for joining. Lakshmi is part of our session, one of the session leaders for our workshop sessions that we have been holding since 2021. She does mantra chanting, and actually you have a session on Tuesdays, right, Lakshmi? If anybody wants to sign up for mantra chanting, please contact Lakshmi about it.
The meditation, yeah.
Meditation.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And then we also are joined, Patricia is here, who's part of our core group of meditators. Good evening, Patricia. And Dave has joined us as well online. Today, before we go on the gene keys, I actually had a question. Let me pull up the question. This person asked, can I please get some advice on my very persistent pain body? I have spent the last 6 years doing the work necessary to overcome the trauma I had when younger, but I just cannot shake my stomach, and it's weird pain in the mornings. It also shows up to have me search for the reason. None whatsoever. It's just there. Any advice would be appreciated. I've done everything from TMS to meditating daily. Thank you in advance. Have a beautiful day. So they have a pain body and it lodges in the stomach or has a pain in the mornings. And then I'll copy this to the chat in a minute. Trying to. Do you want to say something about it, Lakshmi?
So again, he has a pain, just so I understand, he has a pain body, and also it is acting up, and in the morning his stomach is very painful, and he has done everything, but still the pain is persistent. Is that the question, Poonam?
That's correct.
Yeah, so I feel that his Manipura chakra, that is the one located near his belly button, over the years got affected. So that particular chakra is to do with unworthiness, giving your power away, and helplessness, and feeling like a victim, and anger, and all that, just giving your power away, and helplessness.
Sorry.
Yeah. So focusing on healing that chakra, to me, I always use the expansion, because negative energy is always in a contracted state. So The healing modality that I learned, and the healing teacher always says, try to expand, because we also use the words like heavy-hearted and light-hearted, right? We use words like that, just that denotes the energy that negative energy is always heavy and the positive energy is always light and fluffy. So try to expand that energy that you feel in your stomach. Keep on expanding it from physical to mental to emotional, so that all the mental belief systems that got lodged in, may they expand more and more, and the emotions that got lodged in, may they expand more and more. So I feel that this particular chakra got affected over the years, and it's like a water pipe, like, when somewhere one gets affected, you don't get water at the other end. So because of that, the other chakras also will get affected. So um, I feel that doing Joe Dispenza's Blessing of the Energy Centers meditations, because I benefit a lot from that. That would be very helpful. So I don't know. Did he try Joe Dispenza's meditations, Poonam?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what was the meditation that they did.
Okay. So I would also recommend him to do some Joe Dispenza's Blessing of the Energy Centers. Essentially, energy centers are nothing but chakras. So I think more and more he works on his chakras, and also accept that pain. To me, Eckhart's um, defining the pain body, and also he said, name your pain body if it helps. So I did name mine. So every time that pain shows up, I refer to that pain with that name. Say it is a Jack. So I say, okay, Jack is back again. So I accept that I was the one who is responsible for Jack to exist right now. So I give as much love, self love, that I can, and accept and giving love even to that pain. Um, so unconditional love and accept it. So I think all this, um, if he tries more and more, um, I'm sure the pain slowly will leave, because Eckhart also says that pain body doesn't like your recognition. The more and more you recognize it, it keeps on shrinking. And I myself have observed it over the years, that how that pain body has shrunk in my case. So uh, yeah, keep on recognizing it, and may that pain body shrink, and see all the belief systems and the emotions, everything that got lodged because of that in that pain body. So the more and more you do that acceptance and surrender, um, I feel that eventually the pain may go away. Again, I can't stress enough about Joe Dispenza's Blessing of the Energy Center meditations. That's all, Poonam. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Lakshmi.
Mhm.
Eternally grateful always for the guidance. Yeah, I do think the benefit is from doing the Blessings of the Energy Center meditation. One of the things that I would say is, even if somebody has spent the last 6 years doing the work necessary to overcome the trauma,
Mhm.
one of the key things that Dr. Joe Dispenza, and what I learned from my own experience of, so what I see is, I am not sure how people take Eckhart's teachings,
Mhm.
and what do they do once they start reading Eckhart's teachings.
Mhm. Mhm.
So one of the main things that, if we want to boil down Eckhart's teachings and Dr. Joe Dispenza's teachings into few words, is in the sentence that Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches, which is that meditation is not about doing a meditation. Meditation is about change.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so what we need to work on, and this is what I did with Eckhart's teachings without any foundation about Dr. Joe Dispenza's teachings.
Mhm.
Once I started reading A New Earth,
Mhm.
like I literally took, because, and it may be like I see a lot of people arguing about Eckhart's teachings on our page itself. Like they'll say, oh, Eckhart, this is incorrect, or they may argue against whatever statement is being made, right? Which is a copy and
Mhm.
paste from one of his books.
Mhm.
I just took literally, I took every word that Eckhart said as
Mhm.
law.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if Eckhart said complaining and fault finding is ego's favorite strategy to uh, strengthen itself, the first thing I did was start observing where I am fault finding, blaming, and complaining,
Mhm. Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So um, we may be thinking that we are doing a meditation or overcoming our trauma, but the focus may be I meditate, but then I'm unconscious. My pain body is overtaking. I meditate for an hour, or I meditate for 20 minutes, or I meditate for, but the rest of the 23 hours, 40 minutes, I'm unconscious. My pain body is taking over.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
I am not changing at
Yeah.
all,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Because
So,
the neuronal networks need to reprogram, right? Because they're all neurons that wire together, fire together. So the same patterns probably are firing, and so he needs to completely retrain the nervous system. Yeah.
so the first thing I would say is the biggest trauma work that anybody can do is learn what not to do. I will not be the person that I am yesterday.
Yeah.
Make that
Yeah.
decision that I am not. Watch yourself. What did you do? You know, people say watch your. This is New Year's, right? New Year's resolutions and watching our diet, watching our exercise. No, watch your behaviors from morning. Start to document. Where did I get irritated? What triggers me? What am I getting angry on? And decide. No, I'm not. Not if I get up and I'm used to getting angry once I get into traffic. And once I walk into work and I see that certain coworker, and that certain coworker says some caustic remark, I get irritated, right? I cannot act out of
Mhm.
presence. Then
Mhm.
I'm going to work on that.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
work on not being irritated. I'm going to
Yeah.
work on not being irritated in traffic. And I know, Lakshmi, you gave Patricia this advice, and I use it as well. Like when going in traffic, I actually have the Gayatri mantra on. I'm like
Mhm.
blessing everyone around me, because we are absorbing energy as we are driving,
Mhm.
right? So the more we give out the good energy while we are driving, and blessing, like I bless, especially since I leave about at 5:45 in the morning. It's like I really want everybody to be safe, right? We are driving at 80 miles per hour, and I'm driving like about 48 miles at
Mhm.
80 miles per hour, right? Most of the time it's like 70, 80 miles per hour. Going from interstate to interstate, changing lanes, going from one ramp to another ramp. So I really, really treasure and once a certain section is full of these 18-wheeler trucks, right? I'm in the middle of, like, I have a little dinky little 8-year-old car, and there are these all 18-wheelers around me, and I like thank them for one, like sometimes they give me space, right? Like they let me go, like they'll move into the right lane and they let me go in the left lane. So I was like, oh my God, thank you. I always express my gratitude that they didn't slow me down. They let me drive. So yeah, so that would be my tip for today is don't make New Year's resolutions. Don't make the biggest resolution that you can make for 2025 would be, I am not going to be the person that I was yesterday. And as you keep shifting and making that change, you will see that something will change about you. Like all of this will dislodge, because all the pain body needs is attention. It needs your sustained awareness. What Eckhart's teachings are is giving sustained attention to your pain body. So with that, I'll go to Patricia. Lakshmi is going to leave at 45 minutes past the hour. So Patricia, if you have any questions, and what do you have insights? Thank you. Thank you, Lakshmi. Grateful.
Yeah.
Thank you. What came to me, that's actually very good question, because I do believe that we do, carry in our bodies the pain of a trauma. So
So sorry, I have to log off. Sorry.
each one of us had to go through certain challenges with our pain bodies. And I still have remainers, a little bit of mine, and stomach was also very sensitive for me for years. This is where I believe we digested life, and I just did not trust life. I lived in the hormones of stress, fight and flight constantly. That was the household I grew up. So I was carrying that stomach issues for a long time. So what happened to me at some point, I just couldn't eat it anymore. So the digestive process, my stomach glands were so weakened with all the stress, and what helped me was actually Poonam suggesting two things: meditations. That was it. We started with just meditations, the Secret Acoustics, and also reading and listening to Eckhart talks, but also medical medium. I mean, I didn't know if one of them worked better than the other. And then when we started Dr. Joe, the whole thing, learning how to change to be a different person that doesn't have those issues, to like really do mental rehearsals of, how I would love to wake up in the morning and just love life and being excited about the day and just imagining it and changing from the feelings. These are all chemistry in our bodies. So everything that's going in our bodies, that there's a lot of hormones, there is a lot of chemistry happening. And our glands produce it. So, and the thoughts are the ones that activates the glands. So observing your thoughts and then like feeling the feelings and saying, basically, I don't really want to feel that way anymore. What new feelings, what new thoughts can I introduce? So for a while, it's like this little back and forth. Okay, something odd's coming up, the feelings happening, it's making the story. So now I'm looking for a story. Then the story, it's like a self-fulfilling vicious cycle kind of thing. So now we have to break that cycle. And so I recommend highly Dr. Joe's work. But I would also try medical medium in the same time. Even he has a new podcast about cleansing, and I was listening to it. Why cleanse? So that could work together. It worked for me together. So again, I cannot specifically say that one thing is absolute. Things work better for other people than others. So you pick and choose, but try it with completely open and then do it completely. Like Poonam says, don't just double and take just, okay, I'm doing this cleanse 100%, or I'm doing the meditations 100%. And then see what happens, the practice. And now I think that even Dr. Joe, in one of his videos that we listened to, he said that people would say to him, oh, I tried everything and it doesn't work. And he said, really? Did you really try everything? So, and then listening to testimonials of people that were so sick. I mean, so really sick with stage 4 cancers and not having the thyroids, you know. And it's miracles what body can do. Body can heal themselves. And medical medium says the same thing, you know. He believes that our bodies can heal. We just have to get out of the way. So either through meditations and energy and by giving ourselves the ability to heal, because body has that intelligence. So that's our work. Let it do its best work with our help, not being in the way of destroying ourselves, having those thoughts, believing the thoughts that we just victims or nothing's gonna change, and just you know, finding excuses and blaming others, getting into the low energy vibrating of our lower chakras. So it's fascinating. The tools are there, and it's so many of them, but Dr. Joe is pretty much 100% guaranteed. So I would definitely recommend him. And as far as just daily living and eating, especially for stomach, rebuilding those stomach glands with HCl, what is it, chloric acid, hydrochloric acid that our stomach needs to produce. That's where it starts. So celery juice first thing in the morning and do some cleansing. I did it. It's possible. It was cold turkey. The minute something clicked, I listened to medical medium and I went to my fridge and took everything he said to not to eat and replaced it with fruits and vegetables, the healing foods. And it's a process. It doesn't happen so fast, but with meditations and the good food, healing food. I mean, medical medium has incredible recipes from all over the world that he actually makes look like the food we know. So it's exciting and it's delicious. So I would suggest those two things. So I don't know if the questioner did try the medical medium, but again, just stick with something that has thousands of people really healing. Again, you can't produce such testimonials and numbers if it's not true. And you yourself will know, hearing that, you will know, like Eckhart says, he is not teaching us anything. He is just reminding of what we already know. So if this is the truth that it's true for you and you listen, that's the thing you need to do, because you already know it's true. Like Poonam said, every word she read in the book of Eckhart Tolle, she took like a law. I had the same thing. Honestly, I didn't need to argue because I was just reading. It's like, oh yes, oh my God, yes. It's like, oh, right? So you know that's what, you know, is matching your inner belief, and you're ready to do the change and to heal. So thank you very much.
Incredibly amazing. Thank you so much, Patricia. Grateful for the guidance. So the reason why, so to give a parallel between Eckhart's pain body and why medical medium says cleanse. So the reason why we cleanse and what is the pain body is when we are in this fight, fright, freeze mode, we like we're going, oh, I'm gonna meet that I'm gonna meet that manager that I don't like, or that coworker and you're shrinking your body, right? It Dr. Joe Dispenza gives this visual of this as though there's T-Rex on your shoulder and it's dripping his spit, right? Like just imagine that Jurassic Park kind of moment, right? But we are doing this every moment of our life, as though there's a T-Rex right at our shoulder, and we are going to be, I mean, human beings have been doing this for millions of years, right? And so our job is to actually know that there's a T-Rex, like we are going to meet this coworker. How am I going to now respond to this coworker or this traffic in a compassionate and kind way, right? How am I going to come from a place of a coherent heart and coherent brain and be loving kindness? So what happens is when we are in that T-Rex kind of mode, we are releasing too much adrenaline, right?
It's
And that
toxic,
adrenaline,
yeah.
so some adrenaline our liver can take, but because our liver is stagnant and sluggish, that adrenaline just releases into our body and it's stuck in our body as pockets. This is the physical part of the pain body. And that is the pain body. That is the accumulated, then it turns toxic. That adrenaline turns toxic. So when we do the celery juice, when we cleanse, we are actually cleansing that excess adrenaline out of our body. And so we are bringing our body into homeostasis just from a physical cleanse. So that's why the physical cleanse is really important.
There's
And
also heavy metal detox movie, very important cleanse to remove from our
metals.
brain. Yes, metals from our brain. Yeah.
So a good resolution to make in January is that every month or every, I mean, if this person has this heavy a pain body, they actually need to do it for an extended period of time. But for 3 days, I'll cleanse. Yeah, the rest of the time you can go back to you eating whatever you were eating. But at least for 3 days, try doing the lemon water, get celery juice, and eat the non-fat, like there's no fat, right? Like you're eating steamed potatoes, bananas. I eat a lot of bananas, pears. Like you're eating lots of fruits and vegetables all throughout the day. It's not like you're hungry.
Even Sadhguru mentions something about we are what 70-something% water, and the planet is the same 70-something% water.
Mhm.
So he says we need to eat foods that are 75 or more % water, which is fruits and vegetables. Because he said that especially Western diet has a lot of dry foods, and that's just not working very well with our natural biological need of our body. So that's also something to look into. I see the difference.
And the water content, if we increase the water content in our body, then the meditation helps as well, because what is vibrating? The water. We're giving the water in our body the memory of the vibration, right? So the vibration increases as we have greater water content. So do lots of coconut water. I've been telling my brothers the same, do lots of coconut water, lots of so I'll give you a real live example of how Eckhart and Dr. Joe Dispenza actually live what they preach, right? So Dr. Joe Dispenza had a live stream, like they did a 10-day retreat in Cancun in the month of December, right? So if any of you have followed Dr. Joe Dispenza very closely. I think Tony Robbins is the same way. There is no concept of time. You have to go by Tony Robbins's time or Dr. Joe Dispenza's time. He will they'll say, okay, you're going to start the meditation at 6 in the morning, but then once you start, is it going to end at 6:45 or 7:45 or 8:45? You have no idea when he's going to, or is he going to end it at in 2 hours? Is he going to end it in 2 hours 30 minutes, or is he going to end it in 2 hours 45 minutes? You are not, he's going to keep you in the unknown as much as possible, right? So he probably was doing like the attendees at the Cancun retreat were saying that he was probably doing a meditation right before this live stream was supposed to launch, right? And he wanted to like let them linger in the meditation, right? Because his concept is, once you do the meditation, you lie down, keep your body horizontally flat. And I kind of think like it has to do more with my own personal interpretation is he wants your body cells to touch Mother Earth so that you get grounded, right? And so he says your autonomic nervous system will bring your cells into harmonic order. So lie down, and he keeps us lingering in that lying down meditation. So he didn't want to bring them out of that meditation. And he was like, supposedly what he said on that day, the attendees were saying, he said, and he's getting this pressure to go start the live stream, right? He does not like to be dictated that at a certain time at 10 a.m. in the morning or 11 a.m. in the morning, now you're going to start the live stream. To him, if it becomes 11:30, that's fine. If it becomes 12:30, it's fine, right? So he was like, supposedly what he said is, just because others are stressed out does not mean I need to stop being regulated. I need to make sure I am regulated. I was like, oh my God. That is like the spiritual lesson, right? Just because others are stressed out, others have their pain body, and others have unconscious this thing, I don't need to stop being regulated. Right? I am going to be at peace. I'm loving this part where I'm in meditation or whatever it may be, right? I'm loving this part, and I'm going to just continue on this part, right? So I love the fact that he actually lives his teachings. The other thing, I don't remember whether it was in the progressive or one of the teachings he did during one of my advanced retreats, he was saying during the pandemic, right, when 2000, 2001, I don't know if you'll remember, it suddenly turned from going and doing things live to we were stuck at home and we were constantly on Zoom or in meetings throughout the day. Right? Everything had turned in year 2000, 2001, everything had turned into let's do it virtually. So he would go from one Zoom session to another Zoom session to another Zoom session. He said in one of the Zoom sessions, whatever they were saying kind of ruffled him, or he got upset during that Zoom session, right? So he said he stopped the meeting and he walked away. He walked away literally for 30 minutes. For 30 minutes, he walked away in the middle of a meeting to get himself get himself regulated, like get himself into that heart and brain coherence so that he would not make the wrong decision. He said, I could not make the decision if I was not in proper heart and brain coherence. How much awareness, how much presence power is that, oh, I am not regulated in this moment. I should not be making this decision. What if every human being did that, right? Instead of rashly like, boom, firing off an email, boom, responding to it What if he saw a text message and said, oh, I don't need to respond to it right now. I need to be in heart and brain coherence. So that's another New Year resolution everybody can make, right? That don't respond to the text message. You don't need to respond to the text message immediately. Like if you don't feel comfortable, like your stomach is churning about some text message, don't respond. It's okay. They'll wait. You wait until when your heart and you can really give a heart-centered message back. Wait until that time and then respond. Right? Let me check online if somebody responded. I just tagged everyone. Christina says many blessings, many blessings. Christina, thank you. I don't see anything online. Anything else that you want to share, Patricia?
Just that I absolutely agree with you, because I experienced that out of the blue, you know, you're sitting, exactly what Dr. Joe describes in Eckhart too, you know, you're sitting and there is a feeling. All of a sudden, there's a thought or something, or someone comes in, which you already had this, you know, the stories about that person that, oh my God, he's annoying, or, you know, he's angry, so you already have that identification. So no matter what they do, that you kind of try to, you know, already be ready. So you're feeling that if someone walks in that you don't like, or you're anticipating trouble, you already feel that, like, there is like you starting your heart, you know, the stomach gets like squeezed. So depending, you know, what you're conditioned to do. And I many times had, that's like I'm going into defending mode. So if someone asks me a question, I'm like so blindfolded and just like defending, you know, blaming, you know, blah, blah, fine. So what made a difference for me, that I just sat with it. I just kept my mouth shut. And no matter what the other person did, I just went inside and kind of, okay, my heart is beating. And I'm just like experiencing it. My stomach is this. And then all of a sudden, like the response after a couple of minutes, when that calmed down, different response came out. And instead of fighting and trying to prove my point, I just said, I'm so sorry that, you know, that happened, or something so like human, like compassionate, and that made the entire situation turn around. So I think we are so afraid of being uncomfortable, and so, you know, driven by those hormones of stress, that we just want to avoid it at all costs. But by resisting it, we creating more of it. We reaffirming the response with the trigger. So that breaking that pattern, like Dr. Joe says, quoting him, breaking the pattern of being yourself, is what's our work. And he says also overcoming is becoming process. Overcoming process is becoming process. So be becoming that other person that we want to be. Like, how would you want to be or feel if that situation was very different? If your boss was actually super understanding and encouraged you to succeed and just was really interesting in what you say instead of blaming you for everything, how would you feel? And get those feelings going. So you're vibrating on a different frequency, and then you attract events and people that vibrational match, because we are energy. We are energy. I honestly believe it, because I saw it in works. So just change your perspective that, you know, we are consciousness, we are energy, and everything around us is consciousness and energy. So learn how to navigate that reality, not the 3D, very material stuff, just fighting, resisting heavy matter. We are not just that. We are much more.
Beautiful.
And talk to your stomach. I mean, that's something also to, when you think about it, you are a god to those billions of cells inside. You are the entire universe for them. There's billions of them that cooperate this stuff. So talk to them. It's like, love your stomach, love your belly. It's like, I hear you, I feel you, I know you can heal. I'm here, I love you. You know, it's like treating like a little baby in your arms.
Dave has to leave as well. Anything else, Patricia? We can close probably since it's getting cold here. I'm like layered up with blanket and everything.
Me too. I have layers upon layers. It's been very, very cold, but guess what? You know, I'm enjoying. I'm experiencing, because Lakshmi posted this song on Facebook. Little boy singing the song with this guy, you know, thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, and thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. So I used to be so afraid of cold, like this uncomfortable of being cold, and I was like, and now I'm looking at it, okay, it's an experience. It's an experience. So, and all of a sudden there's so many things that I can do to actually warm myself up. I can put layers. I got gloves with batteries that are, you know, electric, that they can actually keep my hands warm on the steering wheel, because my car is older, so I don't have a warm, you know,
Heated steering wheel.
yes. So there is ways, and still you can still be happy, you know, you can still use all the technology around, available products to
Right.
get you to that comfortable physically space, but by resisting it, that's not the way.
I feel so too. Like I'm getting more and more into that mindset of it's just a sensation. Our mind is saying, oh, this is cold and I shouldn't be feeling cold. But the shivering and the little achiness that you get when it's cold is just a sensation. If you allow it to be, it's tolerable. I actually just wore a vest. We were trying to cover our spigots with insulation tape and everything. So I went outside and it's 22 degrees outside, right? And I was like, I'm just wearing like this thin jacket and like a vest and I'm fine. How am I tolerating? It actually felt good where it was sunlight. It was like really like if you were in the shade, you could feel it. You could feel the 22 degrees. So yeah, cold is just a sensation. So New Year's, don't make New Year's resolutions, people.
It's what Dean Graziosi thinks, and also Tony Robbins. Like, imagine or visualize or do mental rehearsal, what Dr. Joe said, where the life would be in a year from now. Like, imagine, sir, it's beginning of 2026, and you look back and you had the amazing year. You overcome this. You felt good. You traveled. You met people. It's just like, and be grateful. Be in that energy, like it already happened. It already happened. Rehearse that, yes, and then somehow your mind will find ways to make it happen.
Yep. So great advice, Patricia. Was that on his Monday motivation? I think I missed his Monday motivation.
I mean, I've done it like 2 years ago and a year ago of Dean Graziosi. I just remembered, but yeah, I keep listening to him. Yes, he is great in motivations and advice, and sometimes I feel like I need to hear it. Sometimes I don't, just, you know, because I'm busy with something, but I'm glad that he's always there, because this is all based, I mean, they all from different perspectives saying the same thing, honestly. And they all saying you're here for a reason, and you can be their version of yourself. You can actually make a choice. That's the most powerful word that all of them, it's a choice. They try to empower every human being to go back inside and decide, make a choice what kind of life or experiences they want to have. It's not a victim. We're not just, you know, victim of our environment. We're actually co-creating those events, and that's incredible. That's incredible power. And some people in the, oh my God, you know, I don't know. It's easy to be in a victim mode and just blame everybody and the weather and everything else. But do you really want to live like this? You're not happy.
You will hear in the Gene Keys book, if it comes through. Is it coming through? There you go.
Mm-hmm.
He will talk about victim identity is one of the shadows.
So we not just pick a Gene Key. We can talk about it next time. I'm just curious because it's the beginning of the year. I'm just so curious what we need to now work on.
I did it in the first. Oh, this is like the introduction.
Okay, beginning of the year introduction.
I was trying to pick like a lower this thing. Fourth Gene Key, intolerance.
Number 4. Wow, it is low. You're right, number 4.
The fourth shadow, the shadow of intolerance, is rooted in the mind's habit of becoming tangled up with human emotions. Intolerance is best understood through its relationship to its programming partner, the 49th shadow of reaction. Because human beings are governed by their emotions, the general emotional state of humanity is unstable and chaotic, which is what we were talking about, right? The pain body. We tend to react to our whims instead of attuning to the quiet, clear guidance that lies within each of us. In reacting to our own and others' emotions, we decide that we feel must be the truth, and one mind agrees with us, and our mind agrees with us.
That
The
is
fourth,
incredible. Yeah.
the fourth shadow is essentially a misuse of one of the great gifts of the human mind, logic. And then the repressive nature is being, is it called?
Giving up. You're just giving up. I don't care. Being like, yeah, apathetic.
Apathetic. When the mental dynamism of this fourth gene key is frozen by the unconscious fear of a repressive nature, the result is an apathetic mind. An apathetic mind is a collapsed mind that is no longer bright or intelligent, but has given up on understanding anything and sunk into a kind of mental lethargy. These people believe themselves to be less intelligent than others, when in fact they are really paralyzed by an unconscious fear. Their fear is that they will have to assume responsibility for themselves, their decisions, and their actions. Instead, they choose to have no opinions about anything. Such people can pretend to be quite enlightened and very open, but there is a vital energy lacking inside them. Thus, they can have problems in motivation as well as their health. To escape their apathy, they simply have to start thinking again, but without letting their thinking rule their lives. And the reactive nature is nitpicking. How many people nitpick, right? The reactive nature projects out its eternal need for answers to questions, and it does so in the belief that these answers will bring them a sense of security. When they discover that this is not so, they become angry and blame someone, often the person or system that they suppose would give them all the answers. These people cannot let go of their need for some feeling of resolution, so they make their mind the authority for bringing about this feeling, only to be endlessly disappointed. These people hone in on the most irrelevant details, unconsciously looking for a vent for their frustration.
Yeah, sorry. They call themselves, I'm being a devil's advocate. Like, no, that's not gonna work because this and that. And what about that? Like, yeah.
And the gift is understanding. If you're someone with powerful intellectual capacities, the fourth gift represents a wonderful breath of fresh air for you. And the gift of understanding has nothing whatsoever to do with knowledge. Only true understanding can bring peace along with it, because true understanding lies outside the domain of the mind. Understanding is of the whole being, and it does not and cannot require agreement from the cognitive capacities within your brain.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's that's pretty outside the box, because I feel that people think, oh, do you understand me? In other words, do you agree with what I'm saying? But that's the understanding is like knowing that what they're saying, it's true. It's different than proving it's being true versus.
Because here at the very end, he says, through seeing all sides of any mental construct, the gift of understanding sweeps aside the possibility of intolerance and uses its gifts to create new roles or systems to bring positive change into the world. So if we have the gift, why do we need the gift of understanding to overcome intolerance? Is exactly here where he says the gift of understanding sweeps aside the possibility of intolerance and uses its gifts to create new roles. What I loved is the fourth siddhi is forgiveness. How much have Eckhart and Dr. Joe and every spiritual teacher talked about forgiveness, right? So for 2025, we all need to embrace forgiveness. So forgiveness is born out of understanding, but it occurs when a being makes a leap beyond understanding. Forgiveness is a stage further on from social revolution. Just because a person has understanding and good intention does not mean that they can orchestrate a perfect society. History has shown that revolutions never change the world. They just change society, and usually only briefly. The highest possibility of the 49 gene key is the siddhi of rebirth, and this is a siddhi that always awakens alongside forgiveness. As we have seen, understanding leads to the urge to serve the totality through instigating some kind of social reform. Forgiveness, however, is a pure siddhic state, and as such, it has no sense of restlessness at all. Let me see, does he say?
It's the last paragraph that it says that forgiveness is the thunderbolt that is released when a being attains Christ consciousness. It is like a kind of cosmic warmth that melts the borders and boundaries within the world of form. Forgiveness allows the truth behind all form to be seen. Further than that, it allows one to see through and thus become one with the truth. The truth that we are all one. So.
And then on the next page, he also says forgiveness moves down the ancestral bloodlines of all humanity in this way, dissolving genetic blocks and lifting karmic curses wherever it travels. That is why the siddhi of forgiveness is often credited with being capable of inducing miracles, because it can release a karmic debt that has stagnated for generations. That's incredible, right?
Wow.
And as such debts are released, those in whom they live can move through incredible transmutations. And these mysteries are explored more deeply in the 22nd gene key through a transmission known as the 7 seals.
Hmm.
So at the very end, he says,
But look at that, that's the fourth city is a primary agent of divine grace. That is to say, it does not adhere to human laws. Remember, even Eckhart said that, like, why we are at that certain point, and he said it's just sometimes it's just grace that it happens. Like, it has nothing to do if we were good, pray, did work. It just comes as that, just grace. What adjective you used for that? It was something grace.
effortless grace.
Effortless grace. Yes,
That's
exactly.
what nature of personal reality. Seth says that there's effortless grace available at all times.
Yes.
Right?
Like,
So
you don't have to prove that you're worthy. You don't have to like do anything. It's just given to you. That's so beautiful.
okay,
Just
I think
acknowledge.
it's getting late for you, Patricia. Let's close the call and we will meet again in 2 weeks. Will that be okay?
Yes, absolutely. Please.
Looking forward to it.
Yes.
Okay.
As
Eternally grateful as always. Much love, many
Thank
blessings.
you.
Thank you
Thank
everyone
you.
for joining us. We meet again next week.
Have a
Bye.
good night. Many blessings in 2025.
Many blessings for 2025. Stay warm, stay safe, everyone. Thank
Yes.
you. Bye.